Okay,
Hi.
we're live. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the KNTV show. Now, this is a platform where we share true life experiences of individuals just like you and I. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. On today's episode, I have an amazing guest with me here. And, she's just going to introduce herself. She was here with us last week and she's here again today. So, Miss Anita, you can go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning, Miss Isa. My name is Miss Michael
Hi, good
Anita,
morning.
and I'm going to be joining you today on the show. And I'm so glad to be here. Thank you very much.
We're so glad to have you as well. Welcome, Miss Anita. Miss Anita, so how is your weekend going? How are you doing? How is the weather?
I'm actually not doing well. Like, the weather is really something else. I'm not enjoying this period at all. I'm usually not good with rainy season. So I feel like I've been under the weather for days now. I'm just trying
Okay,
to, but it's still fine. We're here now.
to. Exactly. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us. You know, thank you so much. And I think we have some viewers. So welcome once again. To those who didn't really hear our first introduction, this is the KNTV show where we share true life stories of individuals who don't want to go out there to share it themselves, but rather they go through us. So we have some cool comments here. Hi, welcome, Miss Azomta. We have Mr. Amen Sam here. Welcome as well. Welcome on board. So, Um, to begin the show proper, I think we are just going to have a little recap from our show last week. Last week
Okay.
we shared amazing stories, and I'm sure if you probably, yeah, good morning, Miss Azumta. How are you doing? How's the weather? And how's the weekend going as well? So yeah, last week we shared stories with people, and um if you watched our YouTube video, you would see, the kind of stories that we shared, and we had a lot of engagement as well. And so for this week, we're doing the exact same thing. So what I want you guys to do is just sit back, relax, and then enjoy the show. And don't forget to leave your comments, because that is really how we would know, you guys are with us and you guys are watching and you guys are, adding your own input into the show. So, once again, welcome. And I'm your host for today. My name is Isa Amamata, and let's begin the show proper. Okay, somebody is asking what's this live about. So, I believe that you weren't really, you didn't come, early, but then this is called the Know Everything TV show. This is a platform, this is a YouTube live where we share true life experiences of individuals. So, individuals sending their stories to us, and then, we share it with the world. And usually these individuals try their best to they're seeking some sort of around to people. Okay. So that's basically what the Know Everything True Life TV show is all about. Mr. Paul Roberts. So, welcome. We're really glad to have you here today. We have Miss Joy Oguche also. Good morning. Good morning to you too. Welcome as well. So, I think without any further ado, we're going to just begin with our first story of the day. So, Miss Anita, I just want to clarify if you can clearly hear me.
Definitely, I can.
Okay, beautiful. So, our first story for today, the caption is: I was slapped in front of everyone just because I cried at a funeral. So now this is a lady who shared this story. Now the story goes, I was just 16 when it happened. A moment burned into my memory forever. My mother didn't hit me because I misbehaved and not because I broke a plate or I talked back. She slapped me because I cried for my father because I missed him. That hot July afternoon, I learned something devastating, that I hadn't just lost my dad, I had lost both parents because of how my mother behaved and reacted to that incident. My father wasn't just a dad, he was my safe space, my anchor. Every day after school, I'd wait by the gate just to catch him the second he got home. His smile, it made the air lighter, and he didn't just walk into rooms. He brought peace with him. But then came that morning, 5:17 a.m., a knock on the door. Three strangers stood there at the door, and one of them muttered, "Madam, sorry you, we just dey enter come from General Hospital. E be like say your husband don."
Oh
She didn't
no.
let him finish. So she screamed and collapsed, and just like that, our world ended. We were told that it was a trailer accident with faulty brakes. He was in the front seat and he died on impact. The funeral came and went in a blur. Mourners filled our home, condolences poured in, but my mom, she never cried. She cooked, she swept, prayed, and even smiled politely, but she never ever cried. But me, on the other hand, I did cry every single night. Quiet sobs into my pillow, clutching my father's shirt like a lifeline, begging God for just one dream and one glimpse of him. Then one afternoon, I was doing dishes. Tears welled up and fell into the sink. I didn't even I didn't even stop scrubbing until a slap came through, a burning sting across my face. I looked up, stunned. My mother was shaking. "Will you stop that nonsense?" she said. "You think you're the only one who lost someone? Cry again, and I'll give you a real reason to cry." And on that
My God.
spot, I froze, not out of strength, but because something inside me went numb. That was the day I stopped crying, not because the pain left, but because I felt like my pain didn't matter anymore. As time passed and the crowd disappeared, the food dwindled, school fees became whispers of stress, and then one night I heard it, my mother crying in the bathroom. Not loud, not obvious. That quiet, suffocating kind of cry. The kind of the kind that sounds like someone trying not to drown. So that night, I understood everything. She didn't slap me because she hated me. She slapped me because she didn't know how to fall apart. She was holding in the ocean with bare hands, and I was the reminder that she was failing. Today, I'm in my 20s. I still miss my dad every day, but now I get it. Some people survive grief by pretending it never existed. They don't cry because if they start, they might never stop. So, next time someone lashes out, seems cold, or shuts down, pause, look closer. Is it anger or is it pain disguised as survival? Have you ever been slapped by someone else's grief when all you needed was love? Let's talk, let's heal. Drop your thoughts below. Ah, so that's um that's quite sad. So Miss Anita, I don't know. Do you have like any thoughts to share about the story?
First of all, if this lady is with us, I would like to, you know, share my or will I say extend my
Condolences.
experiences to her, because like I'm I feel her pain from the story she's sharing. You understand? I think from this story, she made it clear that her dad was like her closest pal. You know, the fact that she had
Yes.
to sit in the gates waiting for him, you know, that shows that they had a bond. And I think from the story, she didn't say she had siblings. So, you know, this kind of
Yes.
only child type of bond,
Mm,
those kind of only child type of bond that the father has with their only daughters or their son. So I think that's why this death got so, like, pained her so much, if there is a word to use. You know,
yes.
she was so devastated when he died. And now for the mom, I think the mom wasn't she didn't have the intentions of like trying to hit her because she's crying, or no. The mom was probably just too overwhelmed with the whole situation that she couldn't even, you know, um plate her emotions. You understand? She
Yes.
was just trying
Mm,
to fight the tears back because she wanted to be strong for the girl. So I feel like, or rather, will I say, I'm not trying to make excuse for the way she treated the girl. No, there is no justification for that.
of
But like,
course,
I just feel
definitely.
like that pain was too much for her. You
Mm,
get
for her.
somebody you always see, your husband, somebody you call the love of your life and everything, and
Exactly.
all of a sudden one morning they just come to tell you, like, it takes somebody that is strong to even like
Yeah, all
hold that
in.
pain back. And I feel
Exactly.
this woman is actually strong, but she couldn't hold it in for so long, because at some point I think she broke down. I think the daughter
Yeah,
said she
she
saw her crying or something.
mm,
So
yes.
the pain was too much. So I'll just like say, you know, this lady, I like the fact that she shared the story, and she shared it when she has healed. You know, she's saying she wants
Exactly.
us to like learn and, you know, heal together. So I'm so glad that you had the strength to like voice out
And
this
courage
story.
to do that.
And I wish you all
Exactly.
the best. So that's just
Honestly, from my own end, I feel like genuinely this is a really sad story
yeah,
because um, everyone, what they should both understand, both the parent, the mother and the daughter, they should understand that everyone handles grief differently.
yeah,
Maybe the
exactly.
way that the daughter handled her grief was through crying, and that was
Yeah,
probably what was going to help her. So I didn't see any problem with how the girl handled her own grief, and I also did not see any problem with how the mother handled her own grief. Only the fact that she expected her own daughter to handle grief the same way she was doing, and it's
mm,
not possible. Like
yeah.
everyone is different, so everyone handles grief differently. So yeah, if you're watching this live, yeah, you are like it's really an amazing thing to share your story on this platform, and it's also definitely going to be like a guiding light for others when we're not praying for these kind of bad situations, but
But of course,
it's
death
going
is
to be like
inevitable. Like,
exactly. So uh if you're out there like you're a really strong person and you know you did the right thing, because some people might just hate their parents from that single scenario, from that single situation. But it was amazing that you understood the point of view that she was coming from, because it was both of you that lost someone really dear. So yes, that's really amazing, and that's wonderful as well.
in that moment, I think she was still a child, right, when this happened. So now that she's sharing
Yes,
this,
yes.
like, grown. So I
Mhm,
think that
she's all
time
grown up.
she was a child, and that's what the mother
Yes,
should have understood, that this is a child. I am
yes,
an adult, right?
exactly.
This person is a child, and you don't expect her to like button things up inside. It's
Mm,
not, some children are actually strong from birth, but some of them are also, like, you know, very fragile, especially when this kind of situation happened. Like, for crying out loud, this is her dad, like somebody she shared
exactly,
a strong
exactly.
bond. So, you know, the mother
So,
wasn't right to
um,
like killing her at that point. But I feel like as the lady grew, she knew more. She learned. She was able to know that her mom did not hit her because she hated her or something. No,
mhm,
she only hit her because she was in pain and she couldn't like hold back her
yeah,
pain then.
mm.
Nancy, you have any
Okay,
contribution?
Yes, from Mr. Sun. He's saying handling griefs and hurts differs with people exactly. You may never see some persons cry for their loss, but trust me, they are the ones who hurts the most.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's very true. Not honestly very true.
Like for me, I'm the kind of person that my tears gland are actually very active. My
I
tears
like
gland are very
that.
active. So, sometimes we're not actually praying for bad thing, but there used to be times where I would just
Mm,
sit down and be like, "Oh my God, imagine me losing. Like, how will I feel at that moment? I'll start crying. Like, I've not even
exactly.
lost that my parent, but like I'll just be crying. That's how bad it can be. Like, not everybody knows how to hold emotions inside. And anytime I'm like, trying to be so strong and holding it up. When that tears will come out, it will be like the whole village cannot even hold me. So people actually handle it differently.
Honestly. So we have few more comments. Yeah, she's a strong woman. She really is, to be honest. This is
Like
so
the
sad.
story is sad. Like I'm even feeling I'm feeling
I
a
honestly,
bit down. Just feeling the pain for her, but it's okay. It'll be fine.
honestly,
Nobody
it's
can feel
really
that loss. Nobody can feel in that space in her heart. But
exactly,
I just know that one thing is for sure: she has God, and God
exactly,
will continue to like make her strong. You get? Because I know once in a while she'll still like reflect, she'll
hmm,
reminisce and be like, oh my God, I used to have my dad, what if he was here? But don't worry, like death is something that can come at any time to anybody. So when it comes,
exactly,
people that are left, these people that will I say that succeeding that person should just try to be like strong and pray, be closer to God, because it's only God that can fill that space in your heart. Nobody can. Like, you can't meet anybody that will be like your dad again. No, it's not possible. But
honestly,
when you're closer to God, you will not feel that loss. Like,
mm,
you will just know, oh, this is something that can happen one day, even though it didn't happen. Maybe it happened so early. I would have at least enjoyed my dad or something. But just know that
yes,
this is life, and you can't change. Um,
mm.
God has already said.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Miss Anita. So yeah, we'll be moving on to the next story. Um, let me display the title. So, the next story is this. The caption is, "She sent bees to my wedding and took back the man I loved." This is a lady who shared this story as well.
Okay.
So, the story goes, "I've replayed that day in my head more times than I can count, and no matter how I twist it, I keep coming back to one truth. I can no longer deny the bees were meant for me. It all started when Idris, the man I believed God has sent to heal my heart, told me that his marriage to Lami, his first wife, was nothing more than a quiet shell of what was once a home filled with silence, no children, and even less joy. He promised me peace, honesty, and a future that would not begin in secret or shame. He said Lami had been informed, and when I went to greet her, expecting hostility, I was met instead with a strange and chilling calm and a quiet, "May God guide you both," followed by a look that wasn't angry, but final, cold, and heavy with something I couldn't name at the time. Our wedding was simple and beautiful, full of drums, laughter, prayers, and family, until everything shifted in one terrifying moment that I still can't forget. Just after the dua, that's usually the prayer that Muslims do, while people were still smiling and serving food, we heard a strange hum that quickly turned into screaming, as what we first assumed were mosquitoes revealed themselves as something far worse. Hmm. Bees, hundreds of them, rising from underneath the mats, the grass, and the corners of the compound, as though they had been hiding, waiting, and then they chose. They didn't go after Idris. They didn't go after my sisters or the drummers or the children. They came for me. They stung my arms, my face, my neck again and again until I was tearing off my veil, stumbling barefoot out of the compound, makeup running with sweat and tears, crying as guests watched the bride transform into something unrecognizable, something chaste. People whispered, Sihiri. So, Sihiri basically translates to English as black magic or, voodoo or anything like that. So, that, that this was no accident, that it was spiritual, that something had been done. No one said her name out loud. They did not need to. That very night, Idris didn't come to see me. He didn't call and did not even ask if I was alive. And 2 days later, he finally spoke and told me he was staying with Lami because he could not bring a woman of bad luck into his life. So just like that, it was over. Some say Lami went to a woman in Kofar Jato. Some say she buried something near our house. Some say the bees were not bees at all. What I know is this: I have scars, not only from the stings on my body, but from the humiliation, the heartbreak, and the betrayal I never saw coming. People always blame women like me, second wives. They say we stole someone else's husband, but no one talks about what some first wives are willing to do when they smile and say nothing. So, yes, she sent bees to my wedding, and in the end, she got her husband back. Have you ever been in a situation that has left you distraught? Leave a comment and tell us how you handled it. Okay, so that is the story. That's our second story for today. I don't even know. Miss Anita, do you?
First of all, I don't want to say okay, I'll just start by saying this the woman said they are Muslims, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
I don't think the woman was right for what she did. If these were Christians, I would understand and like try to like fault the the second wife. You understand? I would have said, oh,
Mm,
maybe she didn't come into the family the right way, or maybe maybe the husband and his wife did not have this agreement from the onset.
mm,
But now, like these people are Muslims, and Mrs. Saif, I'm correct. Like this is not a crime now.
mm.
It shouldn't be a crime. Like
Yes,
marriage
definitely.
two
It's
wives. So I think
mm,
this is something the first wife knew from the very beginning she married this man. She already knew that he can take a second wife at any point in time.
exactly.
Let's not even say, okay, please, because they were not having children or anything. Even if they had kids, this man can still like find someone else and get married to her, right? So why are you now trying
Exactly.
to like will I say, okay, let's not just label this first wife as
Mm,
the witch here,
the villain.
because there was no place where they said she was the one that specifically sent those bees. But this
Mm,
second wife is actually insinuating, because she knew that that was the only person she could like think of. You get? And the
yes.
fact that
Yes.
this first wife welcomed her well when she came,
Mm-hmm.
welcomed her like she was okay with everything. So I think that's even like something she would have been scared of from the first time, like
Yes.
she
Definitely.
would have at least like this one, that this woman is being so chill and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, even if it's a culture that actually accepts like that men can marry two wives, something about
Mm,
jealousy in women is that we must be jealous. Like, when
exactly.
this is my husband, this is my boyfriend, and then you're seeing another
Mm-hmm.
girl with that person, that jealousy will be there.
Exactly.
It's just that if you have like the fear of God and everything, you will be able to hold yourself and not do things that are out of the ordinary. You get?
Yes.
So now this for this second wife, if you're here with us, all I'll have to say to you is run as your feet can carry you. Run without looking back. because you're coming into a family and this is the first thing you're being welcomed with is a no, no, no.
Exactly.
You don't even have to say, oh, let me start praying, because you, how many times you want to pray? You will pray to the rest for the rest of your life, my dear. Like,
Exactly.
you're going to be on a run for the rest of your life. So if you know what is good for you, they've she did you should be happy that you were not even killed, or maybe those bees did not sting you to the point of, like, you having, at least I feel like
Mm,
you're okay for you to even share this story. So if you know what is good for you, leave this woman's husband in, like, just leave. You will see your own
exactly.
man. You get, your man will
Hmm.
come for you. Somebody that will be your own will come. And ladies,
Exactly.
like, I feel like this is a conversation we need to be having
Mm,
with our spouse, or people we intend getting married to. Ask this person, even if you're a Christian or Muslim, have this conversation with this person. Do you think at some point you will want to get a wife? Like, let's sort this out before we get into that point. It's not when you
exactly.
guys are ready. Ask that man, how what will I do to make you get a second wife? Is it that maybe when you get married to me and I get too fat, you want to get a second wife? Or maybe when
Mm,
I can't do this no more, you want to get so, like, you guys should have that. There are some uncomfortable conversations that you need to have.
conversation.
You need to have, if, because marriage is a long-term thing. It's not something that you just enter and rush in and rush out. No, it's a university that
Exactly.
never ends. Like, you have to be there for the rest of your life. Once you say I do, that is the end. You can't go out again, except maybe, divorce and all of that. But then nobody's praying for that. It's not something anybody wants to, like, experience, you get. So
Mm,
please do this. If you're getting into marriage with somebody and you know you can't bear to see him cheat or have a second wife or something, tell the person from the onset. If I see you cheating, I might not chase that lady. It is you, the man, that I will have that fight with. If this lady has sent those
exactly.
bees to sting her husband,
Hmm.
if she has sent those bees to sting her, it will not
Exactly.
even pain me. But you're sending these bees to somebody that is
Hmm.
not even the problem. The woman
Exactly.
is
An
not the
innocent
problem
person.
here. Like, is your husband that you should have that conversation with. He was the
Exactly.
one that entertained it. He was the one that went to bring this lady in, made the lady love him. So you have to fight with your husband, not with this lady. So you are wrong for sending bees to this lady. That is if you're the one that actually sent those bees to
Yeah.
sting her. That's all I can say for now, Miss Susan.
Okay, there's a comment from Miss Ozomta. She said, "This is really traumatic. It makes me think about how weddings, which should be joyful and as well bring out unexpected behaviors in others."
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally agree because weddings are supposed to be a joyful occasion,
Mm-hmm.
but in this case, this is like the most traumatic experience of her life.
Seriously.
And okay, there was something that you said, Miss Anita, that stuck to me. Like, um, you said that for the man and the lady
Yeah.
they needed to sit down and have the conversation proper. And I think that is really true because all this drama would have been avoided if they
Yeah.
had that conversation. But on the other end, I feel like jealousy is something very unique, especially about ladies.
Yeah.
So she might be jealous and she might not even come out and say that she's jealous because, okay, she doesn't want to be looked down upon and be like, oh, you're being jealous because of a man and stuff like that. So she had to go through the other way. So I'll generally point fingers to the man for not having the conversation proper with his
Yeah.
wife. And I'll
Exactly.
definitely point fingers at the wife for acting like everything was fine and then going after, like, I feel like she was even ready for this because
Yeah.
if she was ready to do this to anyone,
Mm-hmm.
she
Mm-hmm.
probably knew that he was going to do it. So that was
Yeah.
why she was ready with like her plan from the onset. So I feel like that lady was just the second wife in question. She was just a victim of circumstance.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and in the story, I even she said something about him not visiting her and stuff like that. And that's see, like you said, run. She should just keep her distance and like
This
the,
man
the
is like, I don't know what to tell the man
he's a
in this story.
coward.
Like,
He's a
you
coward
are a
because
big red flag, like a big
exactly,
not even a red flag, a
honestly.
billboard. because you're mature, you put this lady in this mess, and this thing has happened. Even though you want to like discard her or something, try to be there
Mm-hmm.
for her in that moment, and then explain to
Exactly.
her that, oh, I don't think we can go on with this marriage. My first wife
Mm-hmm.
is not feeling it. Let's just keep distant for your safety. Make her
Exactly.
understand that you're doing this for her safety. Don't just
Exactly.
leave her hanging like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you made her feel like she was your piece. You know, you loved her,
Exactly.
and
Mm.
all of a sudden you just hear acting funny. It doesn't make any sense. Like, even if it was your
Exactly.
sister, you will not be happy. So don't do that to somebody. Is That's cruelty at its like.
Well, unfortunately, someone fell victim to, the whole drama and stuff like that. And it was even, I was quite happy when she said, okay, she never met him again and they did not like
Yeah.
even converse after that incident. And that's fine. That's definitely the best for you. So, stay safe out there, and definitely the right Mr. Right would
Come.
locate you soon.
Hmm.
Exactly. So I think now we're going to move on to the last story that we have for today.
Okay.
Um, okay, let me just get the title here.
All right. Hmm. Second wife. But Mrs. Let me just ask you a question. Do you think
Yes,
uh, being a second wife is something you can do? Or even letting your
my
husband,
husband is on
or
this
even,
life. Just know
or even
that
letting your husband get another wife?
exactly. I No, I cannot do it. Too. I'd rather just if he's coming with the second wife, then I will just give you space. At least I
And
had my first. That's
yeah.
I can because I know I'm a very jealous type, and when I know I cannot go like far to that extent,
Yeah,
but I will
exactly.
just leave you people alone. I will I will leave you.
Imagine sharing days, like the man will come today, or will I say the woman will come today, and then okay, guys, sorry, I think our host is having issues with her network. But this is actually something that is not nice. For me personally, I don't think I would be able to like um accept a second wife. Though I'm a Christian, so I think it makes sense, but I don't think I'll be able to accept a second wife. Like, but this is, like I said earlier, something is a conversation I will have with my husband. Like, I will have to like tell my husband that, oh, you know what, I can't, I can't, I don't want you to bring in a second wife. Please, like, don't even do that. I don't want you to bring in a second wife. So it's a conversation I have to have with my husband before we even get to that point of like, um, oh, I'm bringing in a second wife. No, we'll have to have the conversation before we even get married, so that you will know what, like, what I want and what I don't want. You can't just wake up one morning and just pull up on me and tell me, oh, I'm bringing in a second wife. No, I don't think I'll accept that. So, sorry about the network break, guys. This is Nigeria, of course, and um, we can't actually fault her for that. So let's just move on to like the third story we have for today. I'm going to be reading the third story for today. Now, the third story for today says, I had never fallen in love, but when I did, it ruined me. A lady shares. Let me take it again. I had never fallen in love, but when I did, it ruined me. Okay. So this lady says, I used to pride myself on being immune to love, not cold, just careful. Hmm? While my friends cried over heartbreaks and wrote letters they would never send, that kind of secret letter. Okay, she says, While my friend cried over heartbreaks and wrote letters they would never send, I stayed grounded. I was the listener, the voice of the reason, the one who always said, love is a beautiful illusion that often turns into a painful truth. Okay? For 29 years, I walked this earth with an intact heart, not untouched, but unclaimed. And then one Tuesday morning, he walked into the cyber cafe where I worked. Okay, I think we have our host back. Okay, so guys, let me just continue with the story. So she said he walked into the cyber cafe where I worked. He wasn't extraordinary, at least not to anyone else. But to me, he was the calmest. He was the calmest. He requested for some photocopies and I made them and gave him. He returned the next day, and the next day, before I realized that we were spending hours talking about art, okay, silence and scars. He said he saw something in me that no one else had bothered to find, and I really believed him. I didn't fall in love, but I plunged. I abandoned every wall I had built, every lesson I had ever whispered to myself. Okay, Mrs. A, you're welcome back.
Yeah, thank
Let
you.
me
So
just
sorry about that.
all right, let me just finish reading the story, then I'll
Yes,
just.
yeah, definitely.
So the lady says, I stopped recognizing the woman in the mirror. She smiled more, sure, but she was trembling inside. In 6 months, he asked me out, and I said yes before he even finished the sentence. What followed was the slow dismantling of my sanity. He didn't hit me, but he always lied, disappeared for days, turned cold, gaslighted me when I asked questions. He usually would he would usually say, "You're imagining things. You're too sensitive. You're making a big deal out of nothing." Okay? I started questioning my reality. So I stopped sleeping. I kept hearing echoes of his voice even when he wasn't around. My friends couldn't reach me anymore, and neither could I. Can you imagine? This lady lost herself totally. So she said, one day I woke up on the bathroom floor. Not sure how I got there. My sister found me sobbing, holding his old t shirt like it was oxygen. That's the day she drove me to the hospital. I spent 3 weeks in a mental health facility, diagnosed with severe emotional trauma and depression. I had to relearn how to trust my mind, to sit with myself without falling apart. I am still healing. There are days I miss him. There are nights I ache for the version of him I thought was real. But more than that, I am learning to miss the woman I used to be before love unraveled her. To any woman reading this, don't lose yourself trying to keep someone else. Love shouldn't cost your mind. If it does, it's not love. It's a slow, dangerous undoing. Now, the big question here is, have you ever mistaken pain for passion? How did you find your way back? All right, so that's
Okay.
yeah, Mrs.
All right. So thank you very much, Miss Anita, for that. Um, to be honest, I feel like a lot of people have been in this kind of situation, especially when we talk about relationships and stuffs like that. But then for this lady, she said something about not being in love
Or
like at
yeah.
all. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like she did not know what it entailed, like
She did
the
not know what it
aftermath.
entails for real.
Exactly.
Oh
She
my
did she
god.
didn't know what the aftermath would look like, because yeah, love is a really beautiful thing, but then heartbreak is another thing as well. So I think she was not ready for that, and that was why she just went spiraling and everything ended the way it ended. So I think, from my own perspective, like if she's listening to, if she's here, or she's listening to this live, she's listening to us today. I feel like she should really take a step back from um this thing called love, and
Yeah.
she should understand what she actually wants, because at that point she was really fragile, emotionally fragile. All these people that keep saying, "Oh, I'm immune to love," blah 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 blah, it's because they did not really, like, they've not seen the love in front of them. That's why. Because if it comes, you can't help it. You
At
just
all.
you just well, exactly.
We just
So,
fall. Mhm.
and there's also the saying that people say, they're like, falling in love is easy, but falling out of love is like the hard thing.
That's the big deal. That's the icing on the cake.
Exactly. So,
Oh my
um, and another thing, it's not like I'm genuinely not trying to justify what the guy did in this situation,
God.
but then we're just hearing one side of the story here, and we don't know what really transpired. We don't know if she did something. We don't know if, I don't like we don't know what actually happened. So
Exactly.
it's good to give the benefit of doubt from both parties, but at the same time, for someone to go through that kind of pain, you should understand that there's really a valid justification for, like,
Yeah.
something really happening. So even if there's probably a side of story from his own end, it wouldn't really be that valid, to be honest. That's in my own opinion. Because if you put somebody through that kind of pain
Mental
and
stress.
heartbreak and trauma, exactly, even landing her into like a mental
Mental.
asylum,
Ah,
it's a very big deal. And it's actually something very common. That is really the surprising thing. You would be surprised the amount of people that would, if a poll was conducted or something,
mhm.
you would be surprised about the amount of people that would tell you that, oh, because of depression, they like because of heartbreak rather,
Mm,
the kind of things they went through. It's not just depression and stuff like that.
yeah.
Some people go to the extent, then why do, like, because of heartbreak, why do people go to the extent of, unaliving themselves sometimes?
Uh,
It's all because of the pain and the hurt that comes with
yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really something, not it's something very fragile, but then
When
at
they
the
said
same
love,
time.
love is wicked, this is what they are talking about.
Exactly.
Love is wicked. Oh
Honestly,
my god!
it is though.
Like this lady
It really
is
is. And she
okay.
she went through a lot.
She actually went through a whole
Um
lot because the fact that she
exactly.
lost herself, and she
Mm-hmm.
this is not an experience she had when she was younger. I think she fell in love when she was 29 or so from the story. So
Okay.
that also made her like, she just like you said earlier, she has not had that experience before. She don't know what it is.
Yes.
Of that. I'm pretty sure that if the next man comes, because not everybody's lucky to like just meet their first guy and that person will be like the person for them. You can keep meeting a lot of Adams. Like you meet this Adam from this Adam, you'll be before you get your you get to your destination. So I think like
Exactly.
if you're going to have a next man in your life, of course, everybody longs to get married. So definitely you will have to go
Mhm.
through another relationship phase. Just try not to lose yourself when you're in it. Like don't try to lose yourself for anybody. Be strong, like know what you want, and if the man is not giving you what you want, then you leave. Don't start questioning
Exactly.
yourself. Oh, is it that there's something that, and I'm sorry to put this out there, but I think I have been in such situation before. Like I was losing
Mm.
myself because of somebody. You understand? I was trying to.
Mm.
I found myself saying, "Oh, even the way it got to the extent that even the way I dress, I had to like start trying to impress this person. It got that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can imagine how I felt. Not say I like if you were in my shoes that time, like it was so
Mm.
bad. When I'm trying to see this person, I'll be like, oh my god, is he going to like what I'm wearing? How will I look?
Mm.
How will I act when is it? I was losing myself
Exactly.
because of this person, and that is something nobody should do. Don't lose yourself for anybody.
Exactly.
It took me
Exactly.
one day to make a decision and be like, you know what, Anita, you're going out of like the normal you, so don't do this. Pick up yourself and move
Mm,
on. It's not a death sentence.
exactly.
Love is not by force. If the person is not trying to do what you want, then you leave. Simple
Mm.
and short.
Exactly. No, that's just the truth, honestly. That's and I feel like women are more emotionally fragile. At least
Mm-hmm.
there are some things that a man will not sit down and be crying for you because he went
At
through
all.
a heartbreak, but then a lady will not eat or she's not going to sleep or like and everything that encompasses that. So I feel like that's what really deteriorates our mental health and puts us in a kind of situation that ends up becoming very horrible. So we have a comment from Mr. Sam. He said, okay, there's no way and how we'd be able to judge this case. This is because we heard just one side of the story. Sorry to her though, but you never can tell. She might be the actual problem. Yes, yeah, we identified that
We
earlier
said
on.
that earlier. We said that earlier.
Mm. So
So
yeah,
now this is coming from a man's perspective.
yes,
Men will
exactly.
always want, like, they will say the lady disturbed me. Like, they will never say they were the problem.
Yes.
They will always say the lady. Some ladies are actually like
Mm.
very anyhow in relationships. That,
Problematic.
like, do you know this lady said she went to the extent of, like, they admitted her to a mental hospital.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can imagine
So you
how the
should
guy
know
was
that
like, you know,
whether exactly.
making her feelings not valid. No, no, no,
Mm-hmm.
no.
So there's also another comment. He says, I have learned to not totally come to a conclusion about anything until you hear the story in full from both parties. Absolutely, yes, definitely. So let's see. Okay, we have another comment as well. Said the federal government of Nigeria has banned people from falling in love. You were not
From
informed.
falling in love. We're not informed though. We're not informed. You guys did not say it earlier, and I
Yes.
was and I was about falling in love tomorrow.
He said, "Who love help?" Honestly.
No, love is
So
a good thing. If you experience the good part of love, you know that love is a good thing. So
yes,
don't even say
yes,
who love help.
absolutely.
Love is actually very sweet. Like, it's something that is,
Mhm,
oh my god,
mhm.
you will not want to come out of it. It's only when you meet the wrong
Exactly.
person, that's when you say love is this, love is that. No, love is actually very sweet. Love can make you glow. If you're with the right person, you will not even know when
Exactly.
you start glowing from in and out. Like, you will be so happy. So love is actually sweet. And I pray everybody finds like their person.
And
So we not have
exactly.
to be going through. I used to say something like, the bad people should meet the
Mm.
bad people. The good people should meet the good people. Like, everybody should just meet their
Exactly.
man.
To be
Because
honest,
you
yes.
can't be stressing
Because
so much
that
and
way everybody will work on themselves. If you know that, oh, if I'm a bad person, I'm going to meet a bad person.
aura
That
for
way you
aura.
would work on yourself. Exactly.
Aura for aura. No, no,
Exactly.
no.
So Miss Anita, I think we have gotten to the end of our live shoot for today. It was amazing, guys. Thank you so much.
I don't
Okay, we
want
have
to
one last
say.
comment. We have one last comment from Miss and Azomta. She said, fall in love with the right person and you will testify."
But
Oh
exactly.
wow,
That's why I said love is sweet. Me, I'm a lover girl. Oh. I love love so much, but
exactly.
I think maybe it's not time, so I've not seen my person.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so I think we've come to the end of our live show today. It was really amazing to have you guys here. People on our viewers, people that were on the comment section back to back. It was amazing having you here today. And Miss Anita, it was wonderful having you here today. Thank you so much for joining us. Um, we'll see you guys same time next week. Don't forget to, stay tuned for our live. We always bring you amazing gist every Saturday. every Saturday morning on our YouTube live. And we'll also be having another live on TikTok. So be sure to join us there as well. I remain your beautiful host,
Mm.
Miss Isa Amamata, and I have my beautiful, beautiful co-host with me, Miss Anita. So thank you
Much.
so much. Okay, I think we have one last comment before we leave. So Miss Grace Chi is saying, love has shown me shege. Absolutely.
You have met the wrong Adam.
Exactly. So thank you so much guys for joining. I'll see you again next same time next week. Thank you once again for joining and have a nice weekend. Bye.
Bye. Guys. Yeah.